Hi there! So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the meditation that we are going to be doing starting on Thursday, June 21st. And let's see, why are we doing it for 40 days? Now that's actually a really good question. And in Kundalini Yoga tradition, we do things for 40 days, and it is believed that in 40 days you are going to remove the blocks to expressing whatever it is you're meditating on. So in our case, we are trying to remove, conquer self-animosity. So in 40 days, we are going to remove the blocks to conquering self-animosity. And you have to do it every day for 40 days. And if you miss a day, you start over from day one. And it is a life journey, so it doesn't really matter. You start again and again and again, however many times you need. But it is a brief meditation, so I'm hoping that you'll have time every day to do it because it is short. So that's why we are doing it for 40 days. And let's see, why are we starting on summer solstice? Now that thought is not really that well thought out, I'll admit, but it kind of appealed to me because the summer solstice marks the shortest night, right, and the longest day. And so from that time, we are going to have longer nights. The nights are going to be increasing and increasing. And so we're going to be kind of preparing to go into this darker time. And we don't usually talk about the darker times. We usually welcome the light and we work on the light, and it's all about light. And the solstice, we celebrate the light. And one of my friends had some thoughts on that, and I really liked it. And, it was about the solstice. While we celebrate the light, we also really do need to acknowledge that we're going to be going into the dark with the fall and winter, the time of death, decay and death. And a lot of people struggle, right, in the winter when we have less light and it's dark and it's cold, and, there's a lot of this seasonal depression and all that stuff. And I thought that would be so good to start on summer solstice, as again the nights are increasing and we are going into the darker time of reflection, of connecting to our kind of inner selves, focusing in. And as we do this meditation, we'll also remove the blocks, right, to conquering the self-animosity, so that hopefully when the winter time and the fall, when those darker times roll around, we're in a better place because we've changed something. We were able to make ourselves a little bit more free in our expression. And that kind of ties into what I want to talk about today a little bit more. And that's another reason for why I want to do this particular meditation. And I was thinking about animosity, self-animosity, dealing with clients, got it, but why is it actually bothering me? What is there deeper? Because again, when I work with clients, we look deeper, and it always goes to childhood, to growing up, to messages that became part of us that we have internalized. And I had this incident pop into my mind. I was like, oh my, okay. And so that happened. It happened when I was a teenager, like 15, 16, something like that. So I was back in Belarus, and we lived in an apartment building, and there was a grocery store that we would walk to get our groceries like every couple of days. It's a whole different scene there. And and it was so funny because it was like, wow, I'm right there, that memory. And so I remember that day. It was like some nice warm day. I don't remember fall or spring, whatever, but it was nice. And I had my tote, for groceries, my reusable fabric tote that my mom makes. And so I had it on my shoulder, and I was always, a little shy. So usually, when I would walk, I would be like looking down, don't see me, whatever. And I was feeling good that day. So I was feeling, I was happy. It was a nice day. I was in love. So I was just like, for full effect. Hold on. It was really it was like, oh my goodness. Okay. So fancy and nice. And I was like, with my little bag, holding it over here, with a handle, and walking, strutting along to go to the store, happy. And then I was catcalled. And I was like, oh my God, I was seen. Oh, somebody saw how happy I was and just said something. And I don't remember what was that. It was something complimentary, like, oh, looking confident or like something like that, I remember that it wasn't that bad, but was that startling of like, oh gosh, I was seen. And, it wasn't the first time, of course, that I got that message. It wasn't the last time either. And so it really became internalized that being seen is just not safe. And it's been like that through my life. Anytime I feel like, oh, I'm feeling good, I'm, stepping out of my comfort zone, trying to kind of reach out, and there's like this, like, oh, nope, nope. And it's just became internalized, so that it became very much of like, I just don't do that. I don't step out. I don't take risks. I'm focusing on myself, like within that shell, within my safety parameters, and it's kind of sad actually, and so that's why I'm doing this, because I don't want to do that. I don't think that's right. I think we should be okay being seen, and I think we should feel safe. And so I'm hoping to change that dynamic within myself. And another thing is that, I have 2 little girls, and I want them to feel safe, to be seen. And we project what we feel just in our unconscious behaviors. And I don't want that for them either. I want them to be confident and loving, and I want them to grow up without that self-limiting belief. And so I'll work on myself, and hopefully you'll join me and you'll work on yourself, and we'll all be without this kind of holding ourselves back from our truest expression. So we'll start Thursday, and I hope you'll be there. It is free. So join me.